Hi guys, and welcome back to episode 13 of the Neighbours podcast. Today we have our special guest, Michael.
I am very special. I have a stick today. Look at my stick.
And then there's me.
It's
the first time you've made reference
to what?
To the utensil.
Oh yeah, that's true. The only reason I have a stick is because I couldn't get into the shed. So I wanted to have everything set up.
Yeah, because Michael said I looked like arse, so I made him wait outside for half an hour.
That's right. When I say bad things, I wait outside.
Yeah, like a dog.
Like a woof woof. So yes, episode 13, how exciting.
Yeah, it's riveting, isn't it? You know what we need to do?
What?
Intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one and only
2,
Neighbours
3,
podcast.
4.
It's a Neighbours podcast. It's a Neighbours podcast. It's a Neighbours podcast. It's a neighbor podcast.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
So, you know how you said you had a lot of sleep last night?
Yeah.
I had the most sleep I'd had last night as well.
Really?
So we put my daughter down to sleep at 9.
And she didn't get up?
She didn't get up until my alarm went off at 5. I got up and she still was asleep. And then she started to make a noise. I got her out of bed and my wife's like, my boobs are rock hard. Give me the baby.
First world problems, eh?
First world problems. So,
You know, people pay good money for that shit.
rock hard boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've told Kira this. We could make a lot of money if I quit and she just went onto OnlyFans.
It's too late.
Like the months of lactating.
The pregnancy
we
kinks
could-
are done. She's got like...
No, well, we could
Milky
literally
titties
we
only.
could make more money if she spent the next if she feeds for another 6 months. If she just focused that on OnlyFans, then I would make probably in 10 years.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I'd produce it well.
You would produce it well,
Yeah,
would you?
I
Okay.
would.
So besides your rock hard milky titties,
Yes.
how's life been?
Good. I'm so glad that my wife doesn't watch this podcast.
She doesn't, does she?
Or if she does, she always watches the first 30 seconds. Anyway,
Well,
How
she
have I been?
was brought up in the first 30 seconds.
I have an oak table, an oak oval table available, $50. Big motherfucker, by the way.
Could we carve it? Carve into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
But the guy's, he must be an old bloke because I messaged him like last week. I'm really interested in this. I messaged him again yesterday and he just wrote yes.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm like, can I please pick this up either like tomorrow or Thursday morning? And no, anyway. Sorry, back to what we're doing. What's today's themes?
The oak table is actually for the podcast.
Yes, for the podcast.
Today we're talking about Europe.
We are.
We have selected 2 unique individuals.
The audition process. Is it the audition process or the job application process?
So, we'll start off with saying that it was a job application.
Yes.
I think some people didn't realise that.
No.
They kind of saw it as like, I just want to come along and piggyback on that and
Yeah.
have some fun.
Yeah.
Because we actually need people that are going to be willing to work really hard.
And it was a business investment that you're making financially.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll explain the trip for anyone new to the podcast because there's so many of them.
Balls are doing the weird thing again. No, they're not up me anymore. It's okay.
So the trip is now going to be 3 trips to Europe, spaced out. They're about 35 days a trip. We're going to go to about 10 to 12 countries per trip, and we'll be filming stuff along the way. Forgot what I was talking about.
So you're explaining the trip to people who have only just come along the podcast.
Yes.
You remember when I said at the start of the podcast, "Are you okay? You look like death," and you're like, "I'll be fine."
No, I will be fine. I just forgot the point of
Okay.
why I'm explaining
So you're
it.
explaining the trip because it's changed. The whole trip has changed.
It has. So we originally wanted 1, but we ended up with 2. I'm a bad habit of doing this.
Very bad habit.
We got 2 people that are willing to come along to every trip, and they're going to help us make the content that we want to make.
Yes.
And we don't really know exactly what the content we're going to make is. We've got a pretty good idea of some of it.
We're going to sit down in
A couple of days.
a couple of days and actually nut it out for not just one day, 2 days.
We're just going to get a jar and nut it out.
We're just going to nut in it.
Someone did that.
They nutted in a jar.
Yeah, filled it.
For what purpose?
I don't know, Reddit.
For Reddit.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Can someone tell us why he nutted in a jar?
But he disappeared for a while, and then he came back with the jar full.
Wait, like That's a lot of semen. How big was the jar?
It took him a few years.
I was going to say, that's a... Yeah. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, we did the application process. The first stage, for anyone who is interested, was just a Google form with a heap of questions, and then at the end it said it sent us a video.
Short video.
So I think a lot of people got confused on what a video is. It's not a block of text. That was probably the first thing. So at first we were reading them properly and then going, all right, well, this guy tried. But then by application like number 4, I was like,
unless they've put a video, unfortunately, we need to see a video. That was part of the application.
so we scrapped every single one that didn't have a video. But
Yeah.
okay, to be fair, and in the defense of me
And to explain.
and to explain, I made a 15-minute video explaining the application process.
Yes.
And specifically said we wanted a video.
Yes.
And on the form, it said, make sure you link your video. And then even just to double check and triple check, I made another part on the form saying, have you watched the above video in the description?
Yeah.
Which people said yes.
Yes.
So, and then some of the comments were funny.
Yes.
Some ones were like, do I have to make a video?
Yeah.
And then other ones were like, look, I could make a video and you let me know if you want me to, but here's my response. And I'm like, no offense to that person, because they obviously spent some time making their application.
Yes.
But they said, if you really want me to, let me know. I really wanted them to.
Yeah. We let you know.
We let you know 3 times.
Yeah.
So, and to be clear with the with the video, it wasn't really too much about the actual answers and things they said in the video. It was more about how they presented themselves, how good their English was, how well they connected with us in the camera. Some people, like one guy, spoke for half an hour.
Yes, you did.
One guy spoke for 30 seconds.
He was probably one of my favourites, but he didn't get through to the next stage.
It was funny.
It was one of the best performances, that 30-second video, because it caught us off guard.
It really did.
I don't know. We can't say any names or anything, but can we give the gist of what the video was?
I don't know.
Because it was so funny.
It was very funny.
It was basically a guy just staring at the camera.
Michael really wants to tell you.
He was just staring at the camera, and he was just like, look how good I am. I'm amazing. This is so good. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, in all seriousness, best of luck to the other contestants. And that was it. It was 30 seconds of him kind of making a joke about how funny and good he was. And then it was just like, in all seriousness, best of luck to the other contestants. And we were like, what? And we laughed a lot.
I know it probably felt like a competition to a lot of people, but I really didn't. I guess a word I think would say it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. It's not the best way of wording it, but
No.
it kind of like discouraged me when people referred to their application as part of a competition.
Yeah.
Because I guess in some ways, like going for a job is going for a competition to get that job, but I really did want people who were serious about it being a job. But the second stage was actually people had to make a video.
Yes.
And we're not getting into details about people's videos,
No.
but that was so good. So
was
many of them were
excellent.
good.
Yeah.
And the idea was with the video, they had to do something they'd never done before and then vlog it.
Yeah.
And honestly, the videos were great.
They were. I'd have to say every video was enjoyable, but some of them we chose for different reasons.
Yeah.
And it was great just because we asked everybody to do something that they'd never done before. It didn't have to be expensive. It could be. It didn't have to be. You didn't have to use lots of edits. You could literally just press record. But the main thing we were trying to portray to people was to show us how they interacted with the camera in the experience that they were feeling and give us their actual moment commentary.
And the most annoying part about the whole thing was there was so many good ones. Like we went to this list and we're trying to scale like where we would we would rank
It was
them.
difficult.
And there was like in the like to say like this is the pass mark. There was so many people right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if we add any more above it, we're gonna have like 2 days of full interviews.
Yeah.
And I was just like, we can't do that.
No. So I was a little bit, have to chop. I'm sorry. They're great, but no.
No, it wasn't like that at all.
No, wasn't it?
No, I was like that.
Were you?
I was the one saying we got to have too many people.
No, it was hard.
And then so then we had an interview at the end.
Yeah. Again, that made it even harder because you'd kind of gone through this journey with people, and you're not trying to lure them in or.
Yeah, you're not trying to give false hope.
No, but like we were discussing options of possibly bringing an extra 4 people and swapping them out month by month because we loved them. Like we just thought these guys are so good. What if we did this? What if we, rather than the same people every month, we swapped them out just to give them exposure and things like that. But in the end,
we nailed it down to 2 people, and the reason why we only went with 2 was the idea is when we go to a country, go to Europe, I can't have the first week just getting everyone back into the rhythm of things.
Yeah.
It needs to
getting
be
to
like
know each other, getting to know each other's grooves, getting to know how the cameras work, getting to know how we all work traveling.
And so we made the call at the end to scrap that idea.
Yeah.
We liked the idea because it gave us more opportunity to meet more people. So what we've done, and there was people throughout the whole application process that we've if they live in Europe, we've pretty much said we're going to catch up with you.
Yeah.
Because you're either a cool dude, or we like your story.
Yeah. Well, no, we're hoping that anybody that applied or is in Europe or is watching is going to come out to us when we're there, and especially to those who they got to very like second and third stages, and yeah.
So
But we should thank everyone.
Thank you, everyone
Thank
who
you,
did apply
everyone who
and
did
took the
apply.
time, effort.
Yeah.
It
And
was great.
It was great, but please understand it was also really hard to say no to a lot of people. It wasn't just a thing that we were just like, nah, stuff them. Like it was honestly like this.
One
hurting.
thing to add to the whole process for us as well, we probably spent on the first stage, I'd say close to 24 hours going through applications, talking it like the actual just watching of everyone's videos.
And we actually watched them. It wasn't
every single one of them.
Even if it was one of those ones where it wasn't as engaging, but we're still like, no, they've put the time and effort in. We're going to watch them. And some of those people that we pushed through and watched, we ended up like, oh, next stage. Like we did it with all of it. So
And we seriously we spoke about every single person in detail, read all their forms and everything. So there was about 24 hours on the first stage alone, I'd say.
Yeah.
And then the next stage was, probably half of that, 12 hours. And then the last stage, we spoke about for days.
yeah, we did actually.
But like, so it was a lot more time consuming than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But we took it very seriously, and we very much appreciate everyone to put the time and effort into doing it.
Right. We tried to, with the first stage, there was just so many people that we had to respond to that we couldn't be as personalised with our message, which was hard because there were some people that we wanted to explain, why we said no. But
I started writing responses, and then I got to the point like, this is taking way too long.
no, we just didn't have the time. If people could actually spend time with us to understand how busy we are, the fact that we put all that extra time and effort.
Like we're filming this at 7 a.m. It was meant to be 6:30, but I got working up all the dog heaps. But we're filming this, and then we got to go, and we're literally on the road all day today.
And then we've also got a meeting at 3:00 with Twitch, and then back on the road.
No, like we'll be finishing today at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, at least you'll be getting home at 6. I'll be finishing at 6.
Yeah.
Like it's just, and that's every day.
Yeah.
So, and then planning for Europe's going to take up so much time as well.
No, like even on my side, I took a bit of time yesterday for family, but like even while I'm standing in line for Santa, I'm like ringing Jin. Have we got this ready? Yeah, cool. All right, cool. Hit him. Have we got this ready? Cool. Like it's just anytime that we've got spare, we're trying to get stuff done.
Yeah, I feel like I'm excited for next year because I've decided to take a new path and direction with the content flow. So what I mean by that is I'm streamlining every process. Every single thing I could streamline, I've done it. And all the stuff happens from pretty much January 1st. So then that way I should hopefully have more time to focus on the stuff that I'm really, really passionate about. And then at the end of the day, still have more time to spend with my family and friends.
Yeah.
Like you.
Oh, yeah.
With my family.
Oh, so do you get to take me fishing?
We can do that.
Yeah.
So speaking of the Europe trip.
So do we get to tell who
No,
we
wait.
chose? No.
So I want to make it clear also that we're going to be going to a lot of countries. 30 30 to 36 would be my guess.
Yeah.
Of those 36 countries, we'll probably climb all of those mountains.
Yep.
Highest peaks.
Yeah.
So if you are within driving distance of those mountains, which I would say all of you are because I live in Australia and I can drive anywhere in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a big call, but
Could we do a is there like a website we could create or something where we could update where we are?
yeah,
How does that work?
it's called Twitter.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I love it. I wish I could use
Or
Twitter.
Discord.
Okay. I just thought it'd be cool to see like on a map where we were.
So the idea is we'll be going to all these countries. When we're at each of the countries, we'll be climbing the highest mountain. If you want, you can climb the mountain with us. If you don't feel physically fit enough to do that, you can meet us where the start point is and the end point. So we will tell everyone the start point. We'll meet you there. You can come along with us. If not, you can wait till we finish it. Could be 4 hours, could be 8 hours, whatever. And then hang out with us. We'll probably go get food or a drink somewhere, whatever. Yeah. And so literally, if you're in one of the 30 to 35 countries that we'll be visiting, you can catch up with us there. There's also going to be a Google form going out, and it's going to be what country you're from, and it's going to ask, is there something you've always wanted to do in that country?
Yeah.
And then if there's a good idea or two, we're going to bring you along.
Yeah.
It's a very fresh idea we've been working on for the last, say, 4 weeks.
Logistically, we might not be able to do it in every country, but on the odd occasion, it's more of just an opportunity for us to go, let's have an experience and give that person experience
Yeah,
too.
you would come too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe you've got special crystal caves in somewhere.
In the hills of Guatemala.
Yes, the Guatemala.
Guatemala.
The Guatemala.
Do you know what I thought to myself? I swear to God, that larder's a Horcrux. It just needs to be destroyed.
No. So that also be on the books too. So there's a lot going on.
That'll be fun.
It's gonna be so much fun.
I'm actually very excited. I told Kira that I was really excited about the second trip because I've always wanted to see the Northern Lights.
Fuck off. You didn't even know where they were until I said where they
I
were.
didn't realize they were in Europe, honestly. But I've always wanted to see the Northern Lights. Like, but you know how I'm like,
It's not the right time of the year to do it,
no,
but it'll be good enough.
yeah, it'll be good enough. But the same thing, I don't have much experience of snow or anything like that. So Iceland and all those places, I'm very excited for. What are you looking at?
Rain.
Great. It's gonna.
Anyway. Yeah.
Now, do we tell people who we've chosen?
I think we should.
We should. Do we say that on 3?
They're not going to know who one of them is.
Doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3.
What?
Who?
Firstly, don't dox people. So now you have to bleep those names.
Okay, can you bleep those names? Because I accidentally did dox people. But we're calling the other one by his real name.
Jared.
Yeah, Jared, the Canadian who lives in Australia.
Yeah, so we've got Jared.
Yep.
And we've got Sturdeki.
Yep. There's no...
The friends
order
at
of-
home will know who Sturdeki is if
Yep.
you're a avid streaming fan.
I didn't know who he was.
You're not avid at it.
I'm not avid at it. I'm only an affiliate.
Yeah, so Sturdeki's got a background of playing lots of games, really, and he's just really entertaining.
If you didn't tell me who he was and you just showed me his second stage video, still wouldn't have cared if he was a streamer or not. It was an excellent storytelling. And are we allowed to say what they did in their videos?
Nah.
Okay. Basically, his experience, you could have taken out of the experience out of the video and done the lead up and the ending, because the storytelling that he did on the lead up to it and the ending of it made it so much more enjoyable than the actual experience that he went through.
Yeah, and to be honest, it was literally just catching the bus and a taxi.
And then waiting for a taxi at the end. But the fact we kind of looked at it and go, if he was talking to camera or Twitch or to anything or telling a story, it's like he's captured it right there.
Yeah, and he did it really well.
Yeah.
And then our friend Jared.
Yes.
So so Sturdeki is an American who lives in Mexico.
Correct.
Jared is a Canadian who lives in Australia.
Yes.
And Jared is not a content creator at all.
No.
He was a diamond in the rough.
And he doesn't even know who you are.
No, he didn't know anything
He probably
about
knows
me.
me more than he knows you now.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've spoken to him like a couple of times on the phone already. We've already had laughs.
Like, you've laughed?
We've laughed.
I've never seen him laugh.
I don't know if he laughed,
I
but
seen
I
him
laughed.
chuckle.
Yeah, he probably smiled.
He does. He's got a good smile.
He's great. He's got a beautiful smile. He is an Adonis of fitness.
Yeah,
and
it's
health.
disgustingly.
It is disgusting of the things that he can achieve physically.
What he did for fun, which I like this.
Yeah, no, and I enjoyed watching that video.
He hiked 215 kilometers.
255.
Was it 255? Was it?
Pretty sure it
I thought it
was.
was 215.
I reckon it was 255.
I got to feel it's 215. Anyway,
Well, no, because he did like 65 a day, and he did 5 days.
Well, let's go with 250.
Yeah,
Meet in the middle. 250.
yeah.
He did 250 kilometers, but he had to go somewhere on day 6, so he had to get it done in 5 days.
Yeah. I love that. He's just like, oh, I've got to go to some function.
So it's like I guess I've only got 5 days to do it. So he just punched it out in 5 days.
Yeah.
There's this hike in
But
WA.
I was stressed out for him when I was watching it, and I was like, is he going to make it? Holy shit.
Yeah, I was hoping to see like a chopper fly in, like
Yeah.
pick him up.
But like the fact that he's like left himself food drops,
Yeah.
of just like random bags of like dried mango and jerky and like just random stuff, and that's all he's eating for the next 5 days. It's just like, yeah, I've driven out and done some food drops, and now I'm going to start.
So yeah, he's a very much a big adventurer.
He's a
And he's
wild
well-travelled.
man. He's a wildman who's
And-
very handsome and fit,
And he's very well travelled.
very well travelled.
So you guys will get to meet him probably in January.
Yes, you'll be able to meet everyone in January, I reckon.
We're going to start live streaming IRL stuff on our first mini trip.
Yes.
I've actually made that trip longer.
Oh, what does that mean?
I think I'm going to make it 9 days.
Cool.
And then we'll do 3 days of IRL streaming.
Sounds good. All right.
So you'll get 3 days of IRL streaming as us as a group.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's going to be fun.
We should start booking that sooner than later then.
I already have.
Oh, really?
I'm all over it.
Wow. Because we learnt that mistake recently when we tried to book things at the last minute.
You never have faith in me, do you?
I never have faith.
We're here right now.
And we're here right now. If I didn't have faith, I wouldn't rock up on time.
So, you know how little people have faith in me sometimes?
Yeah.
My Twitch manager. So, okay, I'm on a contract. I can't speak about specifics, but let's just say I have to do a certain amount of hours of streaming over a certain period of time. I went to America for
2 weeks.
15 days. I took a day off either side of it,
Yep.
so it's 17.
And then you're away for...
And then 2 days after I got back from America, I took 3 days off to spend with my wife that I hadn't seen. So
you
that's,
had to, yep.
I had to.
How dare she?
So that's 20 days. Then I took 5 days off for DreamHack, so that's 25 days.
And then we had Boomer down as well, and you didn't stream.
No, that was before.
Oh, was it?
DreamHack was the...
What was the next? Yep. Okay.
So I'm not going to say over what period of time I have to do these hours, but let's just say, if you broke the year up into 4, that would be just an example.
Like a pie was cut into 4 pieces,
Yeah.
and we all had a quarter each.
Yeah, and obviously of that quarter
Of the pie.
of the pie, I had eaten
What type of pie was it, just to distract the members?
sweet apple
Sweet
pie.
pie? Oh, man, I was hoping it was savoury.
So yeah, you know me. Of that quarter, a third of it, right?
Yeah.
Was taken up by me being in America, DreamHack, and
yeah.
all that. So really, I only had 2/3
Yeah.
of my
Left.
pie,
And you had to fit an extra third
and I had to make sure I ate that entire pie
in.
ferociously enough of hours.
So rather than taking 3 mouthfuls, you had to do it in 2 mouthfuls.
Yes.
You had to eat half a quarter of a pie. Wait.
No, 2/3 of a quarter of a pie.
Yeah, in 2 mouthfuls.
Yes, instead
And
of
it
3.
was hard to swallow. Your butthole hurts at the moment.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
No.
But
How's your sugar thing going? By the
I'm
way?
doing really well, thank
Yeah.
you.
Hey, like, you getting
We'll get back.
headaches?
I'm talking.
Sorry. I just want to know. I'm proud of you.
But the day before, on the
The day
third
before,
last day,
yeah.
third last day,
Yeah.
my Twitch manager's like, well done on getting your hours done.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, you're worried. He goes, I'd been watching. I'd been keeping track.
Sweating. I see. Now, I'm proud of you. How's your sugar thing going?
I still have sugar,
Yeah, but like,
but it's natural sugar.
you're cutting back a lot.
I haven't had any shitty food now in a week.
No, you've lost face weight.
Lost the face weight.
Yeah.
I was doing really well with the exercise too, and then I did a shit.
Yeah, this is what confuses me. How you hurt yourself?
I did a shit, and it was rock hard.
Is it because you didn't drink enough water?
I have at least. I know it's not a lot, but I have at least 2 liters of water a day of actual water,
Yeah.
and then food on
So
top.
what makes your shit so hard?
I don't know.
Is it like all the toxins and stuff?
I don't
coming
know,
out?
Michael, but I went to do a poo in the morning.
Yeah.
I strained
You
a little.
messaged me. I remember this.
I strained a little bit hard,
Yeah.
and it felt like my asshole got ripped open.
I remember I read the message and I was like, "You're having a great time," and I was like on my 6th mojito.
Anyway, since then, I think I've got hemorrhoids. I think
What are hemorrhoids? Is that like little boils on the buttholes?
there's like vein that goes through your butthole,
Yeah.
like not the hole, but in your butt, and it can sometimes get sore. Sometimes it bleeds. That's what I've had in the past from straining with bodybuilding.
Oh.
But sometimes it doesn't bleed, and I think I have the doesn't bleed.
So it just throbs. Your butt area takes a lot of pounding,
Yeah.
more than usual. But you're doing the sugar thing. You're still exercising, so you're on your way to.
I'm not
do it.
exercising the last couple of days because I'm trying not to aggravate it.
Yeah, but you have been.
Yep.
Yeah, you're in the swing of eventually starting to get into the running part.
Oh, I'm going to be so good for this marathon.
Oh man, Jared told me yesterday that I did an 18Ks the other day, and now I didn't think I could do it. So we drove to my kids' dance lessons, and I said to my wife, I think I'm going to run home from there along the coast, because I looked at Google Maps and I was like, I can do this. I can just run along the coast and get home. Like I've got 2.5 hours to do it. I reckon I could do it. And she's like, yeah, all right. Well, I'll call you on the way home and pick you up. Like, you know, but I was running along and I felt like for some reason, a lot of the time I'd been running before, mentally, I'd get to a point where I was like, oh, I've given myself, I should probably just stop. But I felt mentally like, no, I've got a time limit. I've got to do this. I'll just push through this little bit of it wasn't too much pain, but it was like, I'm starting to feel like I need to stop. But I pushed through, got through it. There was times I had to like walk across rocks along the coast, but I achieved it. My body pretty much collapsed at home, and all my legs were on fire. And I was trying to make my wife dinner that night when she was dealing with the kids. And I remember just standing in the kitchen, and I already had a shower, but I was just sweating and I was nauseous. And I was like eating like hydraulics. I was eating hydraulics. But Jared said to me, he's like, if you could do 2 18-kilometer runs 2 days in a row, you'll be fine for the marathon. And I'm like, I'd be lucky to do one a week. So
Well done for starters.
yes, no, I was very, like, honestly, that was the biggest physical achievement. I might have done something bigger, but for me personally, that I'd done.
Ever.
I can't remember myself forcing myself to do a run of 18 kilometers.
Okay.
Honestly.
That's fair.
I'm sure I've done something like...
It's probably weird for me because like when
You
I was
did
in the
army.
military, like if we had to run 18K, that we just had to run 18K.
Yeah. But like...
I've totally switched this dynamic now that I'm leaning this way.
what do you mean? Is the
Well, I was
butt-
leaning the other way.
I love it. It's so good. People are going to be like, oh, this segment's changed. But the only other thing I could think physically demanding that I'd done that had pushed me to my limits was scaffolding.
Yeah.
But I didn't measure that by how far I'd run. But that was just like, I'm working. I've just got to do it or else I'm going to get told off.
Yeah.
This was like, no, this is my personal thing that I'm doing. It's not for a reason other than it's my own self-pushing myself doing it. I'd never have done that solo physically without yes, I had a goal, but it was like, no, I'm doing it. It wasn't because I had an army person yelling at me or my job of scaffolding yelling at me. It was me that achieved it. I mentally did it.
I think you're probably going to surprise yourself. I was first going to say don't overdo it.
Yeah.
Like pace. By pacing, I mean like not pace your running, pace how
often
long
you
you
run.
how often you do long runs. Mix up your runs so you do 2
Yeah.
a days or like slightly faster pace one, slower pace, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I was even hoping to do just a small 5K yesterday. I just didn't have time.
But I think once you can run 18K, did you stop?
I had to because I literally had to walk over rocks.
Besides that though.
No.
See, I think once you can do that, it's just getting your body accustomed
Yeah.
to doing longer distances.
Yeah.
I reckon you could honestly run a marathon soon.
I don't know if it was mentally because at the last like 500 meters on my like home stretch to my house, my like quad started cramping up like a motherfucker, and so did my calf. And I had to stop and like work it out. And then I was like, right, I wanted to get home at the pace.
Okay, let me word it this way. If you had to run back to your kid's dance lesson straight away
Yeah,
in the same time,
I would have done it.
or someone was going to die,
Yeah,
would you have been able to do it?
yeah, 100%.
If you would go with that mindset,
Yeah,
you would be able to do it. That's how I know this is like probably just weird. This is David Goggins shit. Do you know who David Goggins is?
No.
We'll talk about him in depth at some point. But it's kind of like when I was in the military, and I'm like, if I had to choose between this or death, would I be able to get through this?
Yeah,
And every time it's yes.
yeah.
So then it's
such a mental thing, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah,
So, and I would be able to push myself through doing so much stuff because of keeping that mentality. It would be like, all right, I could die right now, or I could finish doing this. If I literally had no other choice, and it was always, nope, we get it done.
Yeah.
And with that mindset, I got through so many painful situations that a lot of people would normally quit on.
I feel like I've had many of these moments that didn't involve physical feats of strength, like personal things in front of other people or stepping out of my comfort zone or anything like that. But this is the first time I felt like I've ever achieved something physically, and I'm very proud.
And I know this sounds shitty and stupid, but this is why I think I could probably run a marathon very soon.
Yeah.
Like, I think short of actually injuring myself to the point where I can't continue, like I think I could run a marathon pretty soon.
Yeah. Except for your hemorrhoid vein.
To be honest, I'd push through it unless I started shitting out blood. I would push through this. It's annoying.
Once you hit 30, you're shot. I get
It's annoying, but it's not painful.
Yeah.
Well, it is a little bit painful, but like it's not demobilizingly painful.
But one of the reasons I would have needed to stop because I was using a backpack and my 3 bottles of water. I had 1 bottle, so I didn't have any power. I was such a last minute decision. I used to have those little like Hydrolite packets that I used to zip.
I got heaps here, you know.
I'm gonna steal some. And I had nothing sugary, so I grabbed half a bottle of water. So one of like the little water things you gave me, half of that, and then I just poured soft drink and just like watered down soft drink for one of them because I was like, I'm gonna need some form of sugar or something like this on this run. And then the other 2 were water, but I'd like gotten through them by the time I'd gotten back to the house.
If you ever buy Camelback,
I will one day.
don't put anything but water in it.
No, that's purely water. But I also want to get a big Legionnaires hat as well,
Legionnaires.
like the cap with like down here cover my neck and shit.
Oh, okay.
The sun and some running glasses. Because when you're running on the ocean, that motherfucker beams you.
You make it sound like we're going to fucking do a marathon over a desert.
Yeah, but I run on the coastline
I need
and
my
the
2
beach.
sticks.
Yeah, I'm gonna be that guy, and I'll have the really high shorts with the slits, with the triangle slits on the side where you see everything.
Sure.
So, no, I'm excited because we've got a fitness test coming up.
We do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not going to be good for it, but
but he's going to put us through weigh-ins, like strength, endurance, flexibility, the whole shebang, beep test, everything. So, but no, sorry, Europe. We got off on a track there. Europe's very exciting. We got Sturdecky, we got Jared. Jared, one of his greatest features is that he has no idea about gaming or you, but he is very well spoken and he thinks about what he speaks, unlike myself, who just goes for comedy, which sometimes misses, and just says shit.
I think it should be a really good group of people.
Yeah, I think it's a
I
great
think
dynamic.
the way that they would plan this trip, there's 3 trips. The first trip will be southeast side of Europe, which is actually probably going to be the most uncomfortable one. Besides the fact that it's like a shakeout anyway, we've got to figure out how the fuck we're doing it all. More like it's going to be it's going to be the one we're going to have the most issues because it's like, oh fuck, we can't all fit in this car. What are we going to do or whatever? But besides that fact, that trip's going to be less people speaking English. You know, a lot of let's say less Western countries.
Yeah.
Because it's like southeast of Europe, so it's more like Turkey and I can't even think of it off the top of my head, but like everything between Italy and Turkey, so Greece.
Aren't they Western?
What?
Aren't they Westernized?
They are westernised,
But
but
they're not
it's
Western
it's
countries.
nowhere near like England,
Yeah.
Scotland, Wales, Ireland.
Mm.
You know,
Which we're doing that in the third trip.
second
Trip. Yes.
So yeah, first trip will be southeast corner of Europe. Second trip will be UK, like Norway, Finland, Sweden, Iceland, Denmark, somewhere around there.
Yeah. And then the other one is just the rest.
The last one will be Germany, Belgium, Netherlands.
Yeah, I'm excited about these ones.
Luxembourg.
Latvia.
All the Central Europe countries.
Nice.
And then whatever we feel like fitting in at the end.
Yeah. Have fun.
It'll be pretty much we didn't get to go to these countries, but we still wanted to. So let's go to them now.
Yeah. Very exciting. Marathons, mini trips, Europe. We get to talk about a mini trip?
We can divulge it to the BPBs.
I love it. BPBs. That's why you sign up for the BPBs.
Yeah, so if anyone's actually curious, if you want to help support us in our journey, our journey of growth.
Yes. And those who watch the BPBs understand our journey of growth. They've kind of been along our dishevelled growth as we've been going.
So we have a Patreon. You can support us. I've added a tier of $3.
Yes. That's tier 1, level 1.
Yep, and you get access to all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Mm-hmm. And then at the $5 tier, you get monthly catch-ups.
Yeah, you get one monthly catch-up with DOS
with both
and
of us.
with a guest if we ever have one.
And then on the tier above that,
is another one, and that's more of an intimate chat where we've actually had like some business talkings with some of them as well. One of them's Gnome. I'm not allowed to dox him.
Yeah.
Gnomes. And he's given us some incredible advice. And we really appreciate it.
So that's our, and then everything above that, if you want to be generous enough to donate, thank you so much. But
that's just money value. It's just a weird flex.
Yeah, it's a weird flex.
And we appreciate it.
Appreciated weird flex.
We appreciate it, but it's just, yeah.
So yeah, we are going to be definitely working harder on upping the production quality of the podcast and all the stuff going out there. There is a lot in the works. We're about to move into our new studio.
That's what the oak table's for.
Not the big studio that we're building, but just a place that I've got as an office. A temporary studio. And that's where we're going to set up production cameras for the podcast and also be filming a lot of stuff and working on a lot of stuff for the Europe trip. Yeah. So it's going to be really good.
I'm very excited. I feel like once the studio's set up, it's almost like everything's beginning. It's like we've started it properly. Here we go.
Monday.
Yeah. Next Monday, yeah. Holy cow.
Yep.
And we've got, who's editing this one?
Boomer.
We've got NAFA coming down this week, so we can say a few things we're doing with NAFA because Boomer's editing it. Hey, Boomer, love you. I'm excited.
We're going camping.
What if we tried to ring Boomer whilst we're doing the stream and eat the food? We could try.
Logistically, it sounds simple, but to have him on the stream, it would be kind of hard.
It would be. I just don't know how else we do it. Do we just do it as a standalone video?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Boomer, we'll figure it out.
I'll talk to Boomer about it.
I want to eat his food. Because every time I sleep in the spare room, his food is sitting there in a box.
Anyway. What we're talking about?
We've got NAFA coming down. We are going to be spending some time at the farm.
Yep.
We're going to do
We're going to the Adelaide 500,
yes,
the race.
We're going to watch, you're going to do the Walk and Shore Hot Lap.
No, that's before he gets here.
That's before he gets here. Then we pick him up straight after.
We're going to the Killers.
You're going to go see the Killers and Amy Shark and something for Kate.
And then we're going to take him to Germany.
To Germantown.
Yeah.
So excited.
We're taking our German editor to the Adelaide Germantown.
I'm picking up,
Harndorf.
I think I'm just going to pick up a third German outfit.
For him?
Yeah. That's okay. Just the same one as what we got already.
He can't just wear his own normal German clothes?
Because his normal German clothes will be a cape and dark clothes with red velvet underneath before he hypnotizes people and sucks their blood.
I like how this always turns out to be just like, well, obviously it's a chatty podcast, but we're like, what are we going to do with this? Oh, next week maybe we should do this. What do you think about us doing this?
It's literally us just because it's the only time we get to really discuss how we're going to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to take him to Germantown. It will be on a probably not as an exciting day, but we can still get around and, you know,
Oh, we are going to make a stand at that pub.
yes. Hopefully it doesn't close at like 7 a.m.
No, we'll keep
7
it
p.m.
open.
All right. The German Arms.
We did that in America. We could do it in
Yeah,
Hahndorf.
well, not in Australia. Australia, they're just not excited.
We'll tip.
We'll tip.
So we'll be like, what? I'm like, I'm tipping.
Michael, this is your Christmas bonus.
This money was for you, Michael. And your kids in starving family, but no.
Oh, goodness. No, my kids are quite not starving at the moment. At the moment.
What was I going to say?
Don't know.
Yeah, should be good.
Should be good. I don't know if we've got much more for the podcast today.
I think we should call it a little bit shorter one, but
It is. There are reasons for it. We started 15 minutes late.
so anyway. If you enjoy the podcast, make sure you go back to the very first episode and comment on that one.
Yeah, because I really doubt we're going to get to 10,000 comments, so I'm not going to have to bleach everything.
But do appreciate you hanging out here, watching all this. If you want to support us and what we do, the money is always going to be going back to being invested into
Paying off the larder.
into the content that we are doing. We've just spent a large amount of money on more camera gear and
Yes, we have.
and stuff to get set up so we can actually put this.
Camera gear, setups, this whole new studio, temporary studio until the shed can be built.
We try our best to buy best bang for buck. We're not
Oh, yeah.
splurging.
I always
wasting.
send you the cheapest option, and you're like, we could probably spend a little bit more than that piece of shit.
Yeah, I was like, I've got these $40 like cameras that are
Yeah.
18 years old. I'm like,
I don't know. I'm just so used to being like, no, we've got to spend the least amount of money. And anyway, enough of that.
I'm a bang for buck kind of guy.
Yeah.
You know, doesn't have to be the best one, but it needs to be
Something that will last. Yeah.
and have a very good value.
That's
for
why I
money.
picked my wife. She wasn't the best one, but she'll last.
Will she?
I don't know. Her body's starting to break down at the age of 37.
And thank you for watching episode 13 of the
Love
Neighbours
you.
podcast.
Bye-bye.